Hey, thanks for joining us. Maybe you clicked this video because you're interested in lighting. Well, here's the good news. We got lots of information for you. My name is Bruce Gilson, and we are doing a behind the scenes look on the way that we decided to do lighting inside our studio. Here's the truth though, is that we had some products just sitting on the shelves collecting dust, and we decided to put them in the studio. There was also some items that were missing and we had to make purchasing, and so we've got a mixture of new stuff and old stuff, but let's talk about how it all came together. We just did the video on the WMX1, which is the controller for our studio, and the WMX1 has been a great controller. We're really happy with the way that it's come together for our studio, but let's show you what it actually controls. We've got some batten lighting down on the ground there that we're using as uplighting for our curtains. We've got one of those that's still in a box, and that's why it's a little bit unbalanced right now. And then we also have a Freedom Par in the back, and that is one of our backlights. Now, I have to be honest with you. We made a mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
You know, I just want to be transparent that we're not always perfect. When we ordered the Freedom Par, we ordered the Freedom Par Q9, which is the newer version of the old Freedom Par. And on the old Freedom Par, I've worked with that a lot. I'm very familiar with the product. When I saw that they had a revision, I just said, hey, it's a great product. I'm sure it's gonna be great again. So we got the Q9 version, but we didn't pay attention. The Q9 does not have DMX in and out. So therefore, we can't control that light with our system. Well, the good news is for us, we just need it to be in white, but the bad news is I really wish it would have had DMX, which is kind of a lesson, right? It's a lesson to make sure you're paying attention to your IO, make sure you're paying attention to your products, and then you're not just picking stuff without knowing for sure that it's gonna work with your system. But still a great light. It's got different purposes in the lighting world than the one that we're using it for. We did grab some Lekos off the shelf. These are old ETC Source 4s that we pulled out of a venue at some point. They were covered in dust. We decided to dust them off, put new lamps in them. We threw them up on the batten, and then we also had an ADJ 4-channel dimmer pack, and we pulled that off the shelf and installed that for some of our key lighting. Now, I will say that the ellipsoidals, they're really bright. They're good lights, they're strong lights. You normally see them in theatrical settings. And it's been a little bit difficult for us to make sure that they balance well inside of our studio. So we had to add CTB to them, which is a color temperature blue gel. And then we also added diffusion to them to really kind of soften them up. And then we can control the brightness inside of our controller and make sure that they're balanced well with all the other lighting inside the studio. Now that's the typical AV type lighting that we put in our studio, but we also have some lighting that's more dedicated to film. Above our desk, we've got the GVM overhead LED light, and we've put that on an arm so that we've got good lighting on our desk whenever we're doing unboxing videos. And we're using that same light right here. So we brought this in as our fill light for our producer's desk as we were shooting the WMX1 video. And then you'll see that we have also these little kind of puck lights that we can control. They're made by Aperture. These have been really valuable for us to just add touches of light in different locations, and then they're color changing, so we can, dial it to any temperature we want to dial it to or any color we want to dial it to. They memorize the color, so if you turn it off and you turn it back on, it's going to come back on the last setting that you had it, which is cool for us. And then it also came inside a box. And the box is like a charging station where they're like magnetic, and you just toss them in there. They charge themselves, so they're always ready to go for us. And then they also came with these diffusion things that we can just toss on top of it and soften up the light if we need to soften up the light. So these have been really cool for our video teams to be able to add lighting for products and things like that. And that's why we have it set up right there for our WMX1 shoot. So I hope you learned something. I hope you think that's cool. If you don't think that's cool, why are you watching? That was silly. If you made it this far, you probably do think it's cool and you want to learn more. And if you want to learn more, the best way is to stay subscribed, make sure you hit like, send us a comment, ask us questions. We love to get back to you about why we made decisions, what we did, or if we didn't cover something, what we could do for you in the future. And if you haven't seen other videos on behind the scenes of our studio, make sure you click here. And we're gonna see you in the next one.